down. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel. And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The numbers a week ago for Cook. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Credit the tackle to Tano Passanio. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Looking deep for Adams. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going. Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Rolling to his right. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth, when the balls are right.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Packers add on to their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Now Crosby for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Handoff comes to Cook. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing is Cousins. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Sliding out of the pocket. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
Yeah, showed him. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 24. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. On 2nd down now, It's Cook. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up